There's two things that really come to mind. One is sort of protections for software developers. And so right now, the current version of the market structure legislation, the Clarity Act, has a provision called the Blockchain Regulatory Certainty Act, or the BRCA for short. And what the BRCA does is very simple. It basically says that if you are simply a software developer and you are just publishing code online, like you're not running a business, you're not making money, you've just written a tool and published it, that you shouldn't be sort of liable for the way people use that tool. And this is a principle that we see sort of in abundance in the physical world. We don't prosecute the manufacturers of hammers, even though they can be used to hurt someone as easily as they can be used to build a house. We don't prosecute gun manufacturers, whether those guns are used to protect our national security or used to commit violent crime. We sort of take we sort of say that the responsibility for tools lies on the sort of user of those tools. And sort of on a philosophical level, I think tools are extensions or mirrors into the human condition itself. Like a tool just amplifies your desires, your intentions, and what you want to do. And so it's rather inconsistent to say that tools, which are the maker of tools, rather, which are sort of inherently, I would argue, morally neutral, uh, should face criminal liability because a protester organizing a protest against an anti-democratic government may use privacy preserving software to do this protest that we in the West would say is salutary and good. But then a criminal might use that to do crime. And so I think the BRCA is nothing novel or new. Instead, it is sort of the logical extension of frankly just like common law and like our sort of multi-century understanding of where we place legal liability and responsibility. And without it, I think we're sort of singling out digital assets. And I worry that that BRCA provision is at risk of being traded, because frankly the biggest players in this debate are the moneyed interests. They're the exchanges. They are the venture capitalists. They are much more concerned with the sort of specific treatment of how new tokens are launched and how different cryptocurrencies can be sold. Like they have fairly narrow commercial interests. The BRCA's inclusion in Clarity was really the result of kind of a grassroots effort of cypherpunks, of people who value civil liberties and freedom, not exactly the people that are writing multi-million dollar PAC checks. And so I think it is one of the most important pieces of relevant
Yeah.
legislation on crypto, and I think there's a real risk that it gets traded away. And then the second is a de minimis tax exemption for Bitcoin. I think it's very important that we disrupt the payment duopoly. And right now, the effect of having basically just two options for merchants and for consumers is essentially creating a duopoly with really perverse incentives. And I think competition is good. And right now, it's very difficult to use cryptocurrency for daily payments, not because of any innate technical feature of Bitcoin, but because each marginal transaction requires extremely laborious tax reporting. And so we're advocating for essentially treating Bitcoin and cryptocurrency the way we treat foreign currency, which is if you use dollars to buy euros and you travel abroad and spend those euros, you are not liable for the forex spread in terms of capital gains reporting. And so again, this is an example of it not carving out something new for crypto, but for taking these principles that already exist in law and making sure that we are consistent as an increasing share of economic activity takes place online.